Quick disclaimer before the video begins, some video clips have been removed due to copyright claims. Further editing has been made to fix this issue. I hope you enjoy. Let's get on with the video. Hello guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about Venom. But not just one Venom movie. Today guys, we're going to be covering Venom 2018 and Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Let's get into it.
Taste my venom. I got that venom.
Now, today, I'm gonna have a little bit of timestamps going on because I am talking about both movies, which is kind of crazy. I don't know how long this video is gonna be. I will have a timestamp right here so you can see, when you want to, skip to either the first one, which is what I'm now, or you just want to skip to Let There Be Carnage because I'm not gonna make two videos. I'm gonna make one video for both movies. So today we're gonna be talking about Venom 2018, and I think it's a little overhated. I don't think it's particularly a masterpiece, but I kind of love this movie in a way. There's some goofy things that I don't exactly like. Some of the humor I'm not fond of.
Yeah.
Hey, can you turn your music down, please? Because I'm having a really hard time.
Whatever. Yeah, sure, man. Yeah, I'll just turn it right down.
Thank you.
The characters are a bit... Actually, I'll give it this. I do enjoy the characters a lot, actually. And the way that it's nothing like the MCU now, where it's all this garbage. I've been a Marvel fan since as long as I can remember. I remember a story that my parents used to tell me that instead of watching Barney or whatever, I was watching the Iron Man movies or the Spider-Man movies, the Tobey Maguire movies especially, and that's how I first got introduced to Venom. And then over the years, I've been buying mini comics and stuff. I'm a huge fan of Venom, and I know what people's complaints are about Venom, the movie, and the movie itself. People don't like the comedy, which I get that. I'm not very fond of the comedy either. I think the comedy's hit or miss for me. It's not as bad as I remember, so I wanted to make a video because I heard about the new Venom movie that is coming out in October of this year, which I was very excited about, and I was like, this is a great opportunity to talk about something that I really enjoy, so I'm talking about it. And things with the comedy, and I guess the way it's acted, I don't really particularly know. My biggest criticism is really the comedy. Everything. Some of the comedy, I guess, is again, hit or miss. I did enjoy the movie. I know many people talked about the emblem on Venom's chest, which I do get. I do get the whole, on his chest, there's supposed to be a white mark, and I know some people, you don't have it, and people flip out about that. It's whatever to me. I think they're just waiting for eventually when we do get to see, Spider-Man, which will be very cool, which I believe the third movie will be the last movie of the trilogy, which is good, obviously. And hopefully, maybe Andrew Garfield, if he wants to make an appearance for the third movie, so you can get that classic design. But we're already thinking about, the future of it. Let's talk about, this movie. The 2018 movie, I enjoyed a lot more than I thought I would. I've watched the movie before. I believe, I think I last saw it in 2021 when Venom 2 came out, and this movie was better than I really remembered it. I remembered it being not very funny, not very heart-filled or whatever. I enjoyed it a lot more. Rewatching it, it was fun, and there was also scenes that I was like, wow, this is actually kind of cool. Some complaints I wish we got a little bit more horror aspects to it. I think Venom is such a scary and unique villain. I mean, in some ways you can call him an anti-hero. From what I remember always reading about Venom and all those comics, he is kind of a villain. Not even kind of, he is. I mean, the things he does are kind of crazy. But I do like how, we have different adaptations of Venom. And this one, it's good. Eddie Brock, performed by Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy did a really good job.
What on earth are you on about?
I believe that he did it because of his son. His son was his son really liked Venom, is what I heard from him. And I think that's really cool how you got to fill your son's like imagination of his favorite character being Venom, and then you literally get to go to work and pretend to be Venom. I think that's really nice that he did that, and I like the movie, and I like everything that Venom gives. I was actually decently surprised by the villain. I know people don't really talk about the villain all that much. I thought the villain, Carlton Drake, was actually not that bad. He's like kind of what you would expect from, like, you know, a bad guy. And not in that he's generic, you know, I mean, every character's kind of generic in most movies, let's be real. But I do like how he kind of feels like, he actually feels like a rich scumbag, you know? I like that about this movie, is the characters really kind of feel real. And I like Venom, too. Not all of his jokes, again. Not all the jokes land. But some of the things he says, I do like, and I do enjoy. It's fun and enjoyable, watching Venom and Eddie interact with each other.
We are Venom.
And the whole aspects and stuff. The final act, I can't agree with people on the final act, though. The final act where Riot versus Venom, it is kind of hard to see. Yeah, one's black and one's like a silverish color. Take that as you will. For me, like, rewatching it, it was not that hard, you know, like, decipher on which one's which. But to some people, I guess it would be kind of harder. But I don't know. I like the movie. I also like Dan's character. Dan's character is kind of fun. I don't know. Watching him, he's just like, he's so goofy.
Please. No, please don't call the police. Okay, call an ambulance. I'm a doctor. This man is my, patient.
Actually, this whole movie's kind of goofy. And that's not even a diss on the movie. Because this movie's really fun and really cool. It's goofy. It's goofy, but fun and kind of good. Great, in a way. I know people, there's like a huge, when I say fan base, I don't mean fan base, more like people who hate this version of Venom, which I don't really get how you can hate it. Again, they were just trying to make a movie, and they made, in my opinion, a really fantastic, fun, goofy, hilarious movie, and that's what this movie is. It doesn't have to be more than it is. Just like a few aspects that I don't like. Comedy. I wish it was more horror based. And it would be kind of cool to see, you know, Spider-Man, but hopefully, you know, they do that for the third movie, of course. But in closing, because I don't want to make this review too short,
Dumbass.
because I also got to review the other movie. This movie is very fun, though, and entertaining. And if you haven't watched it, what are you doing? Watch the movie. It's great. It's fun. Obviously, you'll get a kick out of it. I really enjoyed it. This movie is very fun, and if you are in the mood for something goofy, turn your brain off, and just escape reality, and just immerse yourself in the world of Venom, this is definitely your movie, and I'll leave you off on this one. Hello guys, today we're going to be talking about the second part of my video, which will be Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage. Now, let me just get out this way and say that I've been thinking about this for a while. I was thinking about what I was going to say for this video, and what I basically have to say is, I don't want to make this too long, this movie's very dumb.
You want to hurt me? Go right ahead if it makes you feel any better. I'm an easy target. Yeah, you're right. I talk too much. I also listen too much. I could be a cold-hearted cynic like you, but I don't like to hurt people's feelings. Well, you think what you want about me, I'm not changing. I like me. My kids like me. My friends like me. Because I'm the real article. What you see is what you get.
And pretty goofy, and goes all over the place. It's a very dumb movie. When I was thinking about what I'm going to say for the camera, the more and more I thought about it, the more and more I was like, wow, this movie's kind of goofy, and just goes all over the place, and it makes dumb and stupid decisions, and not like, what I mean, like character-based or whatever, just like stupid lines and stuff.
What the fuck?
I'm not saying all the comedy's not bad. I like the part where Venom is making the food in the kitchen. I thought that was funny. Some of his lines worked.
You don't want our help.
She did not know she needed our help, Eddie. There is a difference.
Some of his lines didn't work. But that doesn't particularly mean anything to me because, my biggest concerns, or not even my biggest concerns, my biggest gripes about these movies are the comedy. I don't think it is good comedy. Whoever wrote it, I think, should get a second draft and make it more funny, or just don't have any comedy at all. Again, this is what I said about the first one, is that I wish there was more horror aspects to it. Again, one of my favorite characters that I know so much about because he's terrifying, Carnage. Carnage was okay in this. Actually, I liked Carnage more than I liked Cletus Cassidy. I thought Cletus Cassidy, he could have been done a lot better. I like the whole dynamics with him and Shriek, but at the same time, Carnage is involved, and we know their weakness is fire and sound.
Hey, want to hear the most annoying sound in the world? Guys!
And I like how, Cletus likes her, but at the same time, he also, has Carnage, and Carnage, dies from sound. I think it's a very interesting idea between between the three of them. It's very cool. I know some people don't like how they changed the whole, how Cletus Cassidy becomes Carnage, and I get it, because if you have watched the TV show from, I believe, the 90s, or if you've read the comics, you would know that Eddie Brock is in prison, and then once, the Venom takes over, he breaks out of the prison, and then he leaves some of his symbiote behind. And with Cletus Cassidy being the most psycho person he is, he ends up touching it, and it ends up becoming Carnage, which is a very awesome moment. I wish this movie, which I understand why they didn't, but I think it would have been kind of cool if they would have done Maximum Carnage, which would have been outsane. I know it would have been insane, and I know they couldn't have done that because it would involve a lot more. But I mean, at the same time, I wish they would have done more with Carnage because he is a frightening character. I wish they've also had Peter Parker in this, which Peter Parker kind of is in this, but he's also not in this. At the same time, he's in a post-credit scene. But then if you watch Spider-Man No Way Home, then you understand that he is, which Venom, he gets transferred into the Tom Holland universe, but then at the same time, then in the next movie, and No Way Home, he gets transferred out of the universe, which felt pretty pointless. It was just like, hey, look, we know who he is, It was more just like fan baiting, and then once that was over, then Venom goes back to his universe. Hopefully they delve more into that in the third movie. We'll see, of course. Also, we had maybe a little bit more potential for Toxin, since Toxin is the spawn of Carnage, and Carnage is the spawn of Venom. It would have been very interesting if we would have gotten more of Mullen, which I like Mullen. I think he did a pretty good job, the actor, in the performance. Dealing with Shriek and the whole backstory. I thought that was fine. It was okay. Shriek's character was fine. Okay. Dan, still great.
I'm still standing right here.
No one likes you, Dan!
But more or less, what I wanted more to see about Carnage is more of his design. I know it's not a big gripe. I like his design, I just don't like the color of him. I keep looking at the color of him, and I'm like, it looks more like this weird looking red. It looks like red and pink. I wish he was more comic accurate, in which he was actually, like the blood colored red. I think that could have gone a little bit more of a long way. It's not a big deal. To some people it is. To me, it's fine. It's just something I would like to see more of, like a more traditional red suit for him. What I think more about this movie, besides just the comedy going on and everything, is Venom's jokes didn't really work for me.
This whole situation has just turned his whole life upside down face.
I'll let you be the judge of that. But it's more or less more goofy than the first movie. Because instead of just having like a more horror movie, because this is Carnage we're talking about, a little psychopath, we could have gotten a lot more horror elements with Carnage being evil, because he is evil. He's a psychopath. He's a psychopathic killer, you know? And I thought that they should have done more in the way of making him an actual threat. He is fine, but he's not what I would say a big villain should be. Like, I'd say Riot gets more screen time than Carnage. I mean, Carnage shows up a few times, and then that's it. Which, he felt underused. This movie had a lot of potential, and I know a lot of time and effort was put into this. I watched the behind the scenes of the how they made this, and it's so cool, but yet I wish they would have made the comedy again. The first movie, the comedy, I thought it was okay. I still didn't like all the comedy. Some people were up in arms about it. For this one, I can actually agree with people. The comedy is not very funny, and it just jumps around all over the place. And I don't like the comedy in this movie. But it's still not fully distracting me or taking out of the movie. It really is when I said the first movie is turn your brain off, this is like turn your brain off and just fully turn everything off in your body and just watch the screen. It's not very logical, but it doesn't really have to be. This movie is just kind of all over the place too, which I know the first movie had, the whole 6 months thing, but the structure of this movie feels weird too. But I don't want to keep hating on the movie because a lot of time was put into this, a lot of effort. I just am really hoping for the third movie that they can do a lot more with not only Venom, but maybe with the new symbiote. I'm hoping that we can get, for its third movie, we can get something actually more on the other side of the symbiote. That's not Venom, but maybe a different one. I don't know if they're ready to make anti-Venom with Mr. Negative. Don't think they would do that. But that's really all this movie is. I just wanted to talk about this movie because in preparation for the third movie coming out, I'm probably going to make a trailer reaction when that thing comes out, so I'm just letting y'all guys know. Again, this video is not going to be very long, or at least this review is not going to be very long. It's just I want to express my feelings about this movie. I thought I had a lot more to talk about, but mostly it's just with Carnage, Venom, comedy, and all this stuff rolled into one. It didn't all fix around for me. It didn't all glue together. It's still a fun movie though. I would still watch it. It's not like a movie it's not like I'm never watch this movie again. It's just a dumb, fun, goofy movie that I think you would enjoy. 'Cause I enjoyed it, but I'm not sure that many other people would enjoy it. If you have watched it, tell me your opinion of There Be Carnage. I'm kind of split. The first time I watched it, I really loved it. The second time, I thought it was okay. I still like it. I'd probably give a 7 out of 10. Nothing too low, but nothing at the same time, nothing too high. Just wanted to talk about this because it is something interesting, and they finally, I think it's a triumph that we not only finally got a Venom movie with the 2018 movie, because Venom has been in production hell forever, and then we not only got a sequel, but now we're getting a third movie, and I think it's awesome that we finally also got to see Carnage, which, it's crazy how they pull that off, because Carnage is not a character that you can make easy for most movie-going experiences, but I think they handled it well. Again, I wish they fleshed him out a lot more and made him more horror. A more horror movie could have benefited in this movie. Hopefully, the third one can deliver, but time will only tell. So, until then, guys, I will leave you off on this video. And if you want to subscribe, comment, share, post notifications, anything you want, you guys can do it, because we're all family here, and apparently we're all Venom here too as well. So, until then, guys, peace.